What's up, YouTube? This is Alpha Omeganium here with another Pokemon Online Simulator battle. This time I'm going to show you a new battle that I just had a couple of days ago with some guy by the name of Simtar. He's going to be using a standard OU Sand team. And he's going to be making a lot of predictions early on in the game, and he's going to be doing a lot of switching out. So those decisions that he's going to make are pretty much going to come back to bite him in the butt, because I will be getting a lot of hexes in my favor, which are going to result me in winning the game. So you guys are going to see that, and let's show you the battle. So let's check it out. So I'm going to lead off with my Sableye. This is going to be my typical standard team with Sableye and the Cresselia. He's going to go out into his Tyranitar just to start off with the sand. So he's going to go out into his Reuniclus, predicting me to go for the burn. And he's going to switch out again into his Latios, as I predict him to stay in with his Reuniclus and go for the taunt. So he's going to switch out again into his Tyranitar. I'm kind of confused at this point, so I'm going to try to trick the Latios as he switches out. So I'm going to give him the Lagging Tail as I go for the trick. He's going to go out into his Reuniclus again, as predicting me again to go for a taunt or a Will-O-Wisp. He's going to switch out again into his Terrakion. He's making a lot of really too early predictions, so now I'm going to try to out-predict him and go for a Will-O-Wisp as he switches out into his Latios. So that Will-O-Wisp is going to help me with getting a lot of legitimate residual damage, a lot of real residual damage on this thing. So pretty much he's going to reveal to me that he's a trickster as I go for a recover in case if he tries to get some attack on me. So he's going to reveal that he has the choice specs. He's going to predict me to go out into another poke, I believe, or try to go for another non-attacking move. So I'm going to trick him again, and he's going to trick again. And so that's going to be, he's basically trying to keep me from crippling the rest of his team. So I probably should have switched out, but I'm going to taunt him anyways. But he's going to go for a Draco Meteor and just take down my Sableye. So the Sableye pretty much did at least did a couple of helpful things for the battle. So I'm going to go out into Terrakion and just revenge kill with an X-Scissor, because I do outspeed it with the Choice Scarf. So finally that annoying thing is going to go down. He's going to go out into his Gliscor as I switch out into my Cresselia, figuring that it can't really do anything to me unless it has the Toxic. But he reveals that he has the Sub, so that kind of gives me the fact that he might be a Swords Dancer, which he reveals that he is. So I'm going to go for an Ice Beam just to break his Sub. He's going to try to switch out now at this point into his Scrafty, as I go for a second Ice Beam. So now at this point, after I get off the Ice Beam, I'm going to try to set up a Reflect just to make sure that I block out any of the physical moves that he has in case if he's a Bulk Upper or Dragon Dancer. And he's going to reveal that the obvious Bulk Up, which is much more common than Dragon Dance. So now I'm going to switch out into my, I believe my Tentacruel, because I do have the Liquid Ooze in case if he tries to go for a Drain Punch. But he's going to go for a second Bulk Up. I'm going to go for a Skull just to try to get a burn on him. So that'll just help me just a little bit. He's going to miss the first Dragon Tail, which is going to help me out, which is going to be the first hacks, which is going to help me out in the battle. But the real fun is going to happen later on in the game. So now I'm going to set up my first layer of Toxic Spikes, and he's finally going to hit the Dragon Tail, phasing me out into my Victini. Unfortunately, on the first move, I'm not going to be able to hit the Focus Blast, but fortunately, I'm going to get a Hax that is going to help me out as well. And he's going to go for a Crunch, which is not going to do anything to my Victini, which I'm so happy about. Unfortunately, that he's going to switch out into his Reuniclus as I finally am able to hit a Focus Blast. So now I'm going to switch out into my Terrakion. Actually, no, my Cresselia, just to wall this thing out. He's going to go for a Psyshock, which is really, again, not going to do anything, because if I stayed in with my Victini, that still wouldn't have done anything to it either. So he probably should have made a little bit of a better move on that part. So he's going to go for start putting up some Calm Minds, and I'm just going to try to bring him down with one Ice Beam. Now I'm going to switch out into my Terrakion. I'm going to go for just going to go for an X Scissor. He does reveal that he's a bold nature, I believe, and here's where the good hex comes in. He's going to miss his Focus Blast also, which is going to be perfect, which means I'm going to be able to take it out with a second X Scissor. So that's going to be awesome. So now, as he goes out into his Gliscor, I'm going to switch out into my Tentacruel. He's going to go for a Rock Slide, which is really not going to do anything to me. So, because Tentacruel is pretty much a beast, let's be honest. He's going to go for an Earthquake, which is almost going to take me out. But I'm going to misclick and go for the Scald, predicting some kind of switch. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So I'm just going to let him kill me off with an Earthquake anyways, because I know I have plenty of other pokes that are able to wall this thing. So now he's finally figured that he... Actually, he's going to switch out in his Tyranitar, but I'm going to predict that and go out into my Terrakion. So that was just a perfect prediction. So I get a lucky crit on the Sacred Sword. Don't really think that mattered, but it's always good to get a helpful crit if Pokemon's HP is pretty high. So now that he's in his Gliscor, he's going to pretty much figure that switching out is going to actually put him at a disadvantage. So he's going to go for a Swords Dance as I break his sub with the Ice Beam. He's going to miss his Rock Slide, which means that he is not going to get any possible flinch hexes on my Cresselia, which is going to be another really helpful hacks for me, and I'm just going to finish it off with the Ice Beam, and it's going to go down. So yeah, the next poke that he's going to go out into is his Scrafty, and so here's where another awesome hacks helps me out in the game. As I go for my Reflect, he's going to start setting up some bulk ups, hopefully try to get maybe a Crunch or a Drain Punch off on me. So you're actually going to see that the poison is actually going to stay with this Scrafty the whole time that he is in the battle. So I'm just going to go for a couple of Ice Beams just to take him down. And he's going to go for a Drain Punch, which is not going to do anything to me. And so basically all this poison is just going to be racking on him really good as I go for a final Ice Beam, and then basically he's just going to go down completely after he gets off that really lame damage from the Crunch with the Reflect put up. So now his Scrafty's going to go down. So now he has one final poke left, which is going to be his Magnezone, and I'm guessing that it's a subber. So obviously he sets up the sub as I predict that and go for the Ice Beam just to break it. And fortunately the balloon does pop, so which doesn't really matter because I don't really have any pokes that have any legitimate ground type moves. He's not going to get the special attack raise with the Charge Beam, but he is going to get a crit on it, which is not going to help me out, which really doesn't matter to me at this point. He's going to go for a Thunderbolt, and I'm going to luckily get a crit on the sub, which means that it's going to break at the end of this turn, but Cresselia is going to go down to the Sandstorm. So now I'm going to be able to revenge kill with my Terrakion with the Sacred Sword, so it's going to go down, and that'll be the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Great battle with you, Simtar. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you liked it, rate, comment, and subscribe. So I hope you guys hope to see you at the next video. So until then, this is Alpha Omeganium signing out. Peace.